Hey guys, Adam here and welcome to a £700 PC build. This is a UK version. I will also make a US version and probably an Australian one. I'm not sure really. But yeah, I will also be making an AMD variant, so that will obviously feature AMD parts such as an AMD CPU and an AMD motherboard, and that would probably work out cheaper if you're on a tight budget. Not exactly that tight, but quite tight. So yeah, anyway, let's get started with this build. So for the CPU, I went with the Core i5 4670K made by Intel. It's on their Haswell. It's quad cores and it's running on the LGA 1150 socket. For the motherboard, I went with the ASRock B85 Killer ATX LGA 1150 socket motherboard. It has 4 memory slots. It runs DDR3 1066, 1333 or 1600 MHz RAM, which is totally fine. You wouldn't need any more speed than that unless you're on a workstation. It supports the maximum of 32 gigs, which is what you'll expect with a £72 motherboard. It doesn't support RAID, however, that makes up with Crossfire support, and it has 4 SATA 6GB per second ports. So yeah, it's a really nice, good motherboard. Now for the memory or RAM, I went with Corsair Vengeance 16GB of 1600 MHz RAM. It's a nice blue, and it runs on 240-pin DIMM, which I don't know what the hell that means, but yeah, it also has a heat spreader here, so if you want to overclock this thing, you can, and as it heats up, it'll just spread the heat around on this heat spreader here. So yeah, it's just nice solid RAM. Now for the storage, I went with the Corsair Force LS series 120GB SSD. It's essentially, basically, it's what it is. It's an SSD running at 6GB per second. It's SATA 3. It's really small. It's 2.5 inches, and it'll fit in the case we have. And since it's an SSD, we can put Windows on this to make booting faster and everything else. And it has 256 megabytes of cache. So for the video card, I went with the Asus Radeon R9 270X 4GB video card. This thing is an absolute monster. It runs at 1.12 GHz. So I don't even think you need to overclock that. Out of the box, it comes pretty much overclocked. It has 2 fans. It supports Crossfire, and it has 4 gigs of RAM, which is brilliant for running iFinity. So that's 3 monitors, and it'll handle all that, and you can actually play the latest games maxed out on this card. So, and then for the case, I went with the Zalman Z11 Plus ATX mid-tower case. This is black. The inside is black. The inside is black. It has 2 fans inside. These are for the hard drive, so they cool the hard drives. This is smoked at the top. It has a fan at the back, I think 1 or 2 fans at the top here, and a 120mm fan at the front. Now it has enough room for cable management, even has a bit at the back where you can tuck your cables nice and neat. You wouldn't actually see the cables anyway, because it's a really big case and you can like tuck the cables away somewhere. And from where you'll see it, so it's small. Here's the side panel that's kind of popped out. It has nice blue lighting, so it looks really, really nice. You can see your video card in there, everything. It supports ATX and micro ATX motherboards, and yeah, it's just a really nice, good looking case. Now for the power supply, I went with the Corsair CX 750W 80 plus bronze certified semi-modular ATX power supply. It's running at 750 watts. Sorry. Which is capable of running 2 of the Crossfire, the R9 270Xs in Crossfire. And yeah, it's a really, really nice power supply. I mean, what can I say? It's Corsair, semi-modular for 69 quid. That is a deal. So all this comes into £711. Obviously it's not exactly 700 quid, but rounding down, yes it is. And for what you're getting, this will last you some time, about 4 years, until you have to turn the settings down to like medium and low games. I can't exactly guarantee this build will play every game on Ultra at 1080p, since I haven't tried it. I only have a 1280 by 1024 ancient monitor, but yeah, I think it can, but I can't try it, so I can't help you guys there. But anyway, so at the end of the day, what are you getting here? Well, you're getting a Core i5 4670K, good for rendering, made by Intel, quad core. This is capable of running graphics cards in Crossfire configuration without bottlenecking them, and it's a really nice CPU running at the Haswell. The motherboard is a ASRock B85 Killer ATX 1150 socket. It has a nice red and black theme going on. Almost, well, it is essentially like how Asus have their Republic of Gamers red and black theme. So that's really nice. Now it's kind of bad because the RAM is bright, like kind of baby bluish, and this will just like pop out and look really weird in the red and black theme. But I mean, you don't necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily mind. I mean, it's nice fast RAM, and that's what at the end of the day I care about. Now for the storage, you're getting an SSD. Essentially what it is a solid state disk, which installing Windows on it, and you could probably install a few games, would run this beastly. It's pretty much a SATA 3 hard drive, but without the bulk. And yeah, that's pretty much an SSD. For the video card, I went with the R9, as I said. So this is a nice solid graphics card running everything maxed out. Case, as I said, I can't really get into depth in this. It's just a case. It's what you're going to put all your stuff in. It looks nice. 2 USB 3.0 at the top, 2 USB 2.0 at the top. I didn't mention that before, but I just remembered to do it now. That's actually the case I have. So right now we're looking at it and seeing what it has. But yeah, and for the power supply, you're getting a Corsair semi-modular 750 watt. And again, this all comes into £711. So I hope you guys enjoyed this £700 PC build. Stay tuned for more videos. I will be doing an AMD variant of this, and budget gaming PCs and portable ones. So yeah, comment, subscribe and like, and I will see you guys next time. So as always, keep mining.